episode 16. Cito in the building. Beyond the Views podcast, the #1 podcast in the world. You know that. I have LivRoskos in the building.
Hey, everybody. Good to be here.
So, Chicago-based singer, songwriter, violinist. Her music is birthed out of everyday human experience through electric mix of jazz, pop, fusion. Live share stories of hope, love, and inspiration. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. You are a star from Chicago. How are you today?
I am good. I'm super excited to be here.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you on the show. Now, before we get started, I want to start off by asking you 3 random cool questions.
Okay. I'm ready.
First one is, what is your greatest fear?
I think one of my greatest fears is not living up to the expectations I have of myself, if that makes sense. So it's like the goals that I have set, if I don't live up to those, I think that's one of my greatest fears.
Fair enough. Well said. All right. Another question I have for you is, what is your biggest regret?
I think one of my biggest regret is maybe like how I was in past relationships with people in college and high school. Like I wasn't a very good person. So yeah, if I could just be honest.
Anyone of you to even admit it. Okay, final. If you could win an award, what would it be and why? What would it be and why?
Oh, I think it would probably either have to do something with like leadership, humanitarian work, or work as a singer-songwriter.
All right. That's excellent. So your resume in music is like the range is incredible. You have done a lot of live performances, acoustic performances, covers of songs. Really don't even know where to get started, but we will get started with Lies. Everyone listening, Lies came out 2018. An amazing production. We also have C.W. Allen on the song.
Won't believe your lies, no they ain't gon' capture you. Won't believe your lies, no they ain't gon' capture you. Won't believe your lies, no they ain't gon' capture you. Won't believe your lies, no they ain't gon' capture you.
The combination of both of you on the song, it's such a powerful song. I want you to let me know, when was that day you got started with music?
Yeah, so I grew up in a really musical family. My sister actually has an album out. She's a vocalist as well. She plays piano. So I grew up just like with her playing piano. I'd be playing violin. We would just kind of be like, doing music in the living room. My mom also was a vocalist and sang. We would put on like family concerts. So music was like in my family. Art was in my family. And then I went to college and I was a communications major. And so I was learning all different things having to do with communication. But towards my senior year, I was like, okay, I want to do music, but I was really scared because that, like you don't make money in music, all those things, which is crazy to me because as a kid, right, you're told to, what do you want to do? You can be anything. But then when you actually grow up and are an adult, then you are pursuing that thing. People are like, nah, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So I think it was really like my senior year of college where I was like, you know what, let me just try to go to open mics. Let me get out there. Let me try to meet people. So I would literally just go by myself to open mics. I would network with people in Chicago. I'd try to meet people. And I think it took me time to find my style and my voice. I've done a lot of like background vocals and different stuff with hip hop artists. That's actually how I connected with C.W. Allen. So we toured, we went overseas. I've done stuff with different DJs and artists. And then it was this past year where I was like, okay, I need to work on a cohesive project that's just Liv, not for this artist, not for that artist, but like who is Liv? And so I feel like my style is now more fusing to jazz, soul, R&B. That's more me. Like I can do stuff with other artists, which is great, being versatile, but I'm like, I need my own stuff. I need my own project.
Of course, at this point, you just want to focus on your solo career. You want to focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Did you always have this confidence to get out there and put your music out there? Like, did you
No.
zone out, or is this something you slowly, gradually became more confident with yourself?
Yeah, it's been definitely a journey. I remember like doing open mics when I first started. I was so nervous performing live. And I think when I went on tour, that was like a huge experience for me. And we went to Poland, the Czech Republic, we went overseas. And just seeing how people really valued the gift of music there and valued what we were doing really gave me a lot of confidence that trip. And then I also, outside of music, I do leadership development and training.
Wow.
So I work with high school students. And so we're always talking about emotional and social health and what does it look like to be a leader? What does it look like to be empathetic, to be confident? And so every day as I'm teaching, I'm also learning because I have to be the leader I want my students to look up to.
Exactly.
And so it's definitely like a process. You're always learning.
Of course, of course. How was it feeling like when you recorded your first song?
Oh.
You hit it off the park because you just had the background and the confidence, or was it just
Well, actually, so I put out one song. It's like Hidden Away before Lies. Like Lies was really my first song, but I put another
wait,
song.
is it out yet? Is it out right now, or you just took it down?
It's still out, but it's terrible. It's terrible. I'm ashamed.
I don't even want to say I want to guess. And the reason why I'm saying I want to guess is because I went through your catalog and there was this hidden song that I don't see out on your platforms. So
Well, it's actually under my government name. It's under Olivia. It's
okay. So
yeah, so it's not even under my like artist name.
Okay.
It was my first song I ever put out, and it was like, oh, this is terrible. But Lies really was like my single that I dropped as an artist. And I feel like I've grown from there, but I am still really proud of that song. There was so much work that went to that song. I work with a producer from LA. His name is Ike Nichols, and he's incredible.
Right.
And he did Lies, and then even the guy that did Andy that did the film, that was such quality production for like a first music video. So I was really proud of it.
Incredible. That was Lives by Liv. Amazing song. Came out 2018. First song that you came out and publicly put out your first song. Definitely a hit record. I love the music video. And so we are speaking on Lies as we speak right now. Amazing production. You have C.W. Allen on the song as well. Production is amazing. It seems like you've already been making music for the last 10, 15 years. So you definitely have it in you. Maybe it was just a little different and nerve-wracking, a different space of being in a studio recording your first song with somebody else. The writing process of Lies, how did that come about?
Yeah, so I actually Ike Nichols, and then there was another guy that helped as well, Sean McDuffie, and it was kind of a process, a collaboration.
Okay.
Like I had no experience in songwriting whatsoever, and so it's difficult, like learning how to first write a song.
Yes.
And I think definitely collaborating with people that have the experience and that can guide you through that process until you can get to that space on your own. A lot of it, I think, comes from journaling. I've learned with like songwriting, constant writing wherever you are. If you're commuting, if you're on the bus, if you're driving, like if you see something, if you're inspired by something, always having a notebook by you and just like jotting down thoughts, ideas, things that come to your mind so you don't forget them. And then like voice recording anything, right? So if I'm driving or I'm, out taking the bus or wherever I'm at, I'm like, oh, I'm thinking of a melody. Let me just like grab my phone and voice record. So I think for me, music is so personal because it's based off of what I'm going through in that very moment. Like I can't manufacture my music. It's definitely like I'm going to sing out of the place of the reality of what I'm actually experiencing as a human, because as an artist, like what you see is what you get. With me, it's like who I am is who I am. Like there's no separation.
And I felt that through your music. And that was my next question. My next question was going to be, it doesn't seem like you just write to write, or you just make up fairy tale stories when you write, because all your songs have meanings behind them. And so stepping into your 2019 song, Running, did I get the feel of this was sort of running away from life itself, taking a break from everything? It's the feel that I got. Were you in a space in 2019 that made you feel like you just had enough of a lot of things and you just
Yeah. So for me, I think just living in a city in general, it's really easy for people to lose themselves. Like living in a major city, like you're constantly commuting, it's constantly busy.
so
Like
true.
as an entrepreneur, like I'm an entrepreneur, I'm working with a leadership company, I'm a musician, I'm a mom, a wife, like all these things, right? And like you can just become overwhelmed. And I was walking downtown in Chicago and I was super overwhelmed. And I remember like looking up and I just felt like everything was like spinning, like the skyscrapers, and I was just exhausted. And like, I need to take care of myself. It was kind of this realization that if I don't slow down and learn how to like have boundaries and say no to people, like I'm not going to do well. So running was really like, you can try to find validation in everybody, like social media, this, being busy, saying yes, but at the same time, like you're going to lose yourself in those things.
Right, right. Would you see your best therapy to disconnect yourself from the madness what this universe can sometimes throw at you? Would you say it is, writing music, expressing yourself? Is that the way you just really release?
Yeah, I think journaling, writing, like definitely like prayer, meditation, just getting away from everything. But I think being able to write and do music, it like channels everything, right? Like all your anger, your joy, your frustration is channeled into something that is like beautiful, that
Yeah,
something that becomes a project or
right,
a
right.
way that you can express your creativity.
Absolutely. And where did you write Running? I'm curious. And all the fans are
Um,
curious, where did you write it? Where were you? What space were you in? Where were you?
I think I feel like I wrote a lot of that song like commuting on the bus. So I didn't have a car at the time, so I was like constantly like downtown, here and there, everywhere. So I wrote a lot of that song like commuting.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like I wrote a lot of that song in the city.
Now, when you are writing, I'm always curious to ask artists, when you are writing, are there times where you do feel frustrated that nothing's came to you? And what maybe do you do to implement throughout your life that can maybe spark a little bit more imagination to your writing process?
I think, and I posted something about this on my social media a while ago, but I think oftentimes artists um, have this like expectation to constantly like put things out and
Mhm.
constantly like manufacture, right? Like your feelings or manufacture songs because like, I got to get content out. I got to get content. And I posted something recently that was like, stop pushing artists for content because it hinders the process of creativity. Like albums, projects, songs take a lot of time and they have to be birthed out of that genuine place of where you are. Like, of course, you can write anything, you can manufacture anything and
Right,
like make a hit song. But
right,
I think for me, a lot of times when I feel like I'm stuck or have a like writer's block,
yeah.
it's because I'm feeling that pressure to get something out. Like I'm feeling that pressure. Like people on social media need
Yeah,
new
full,
content.
full,
They need me to get this stuff out. And I have to, in that moment, I have to take a step back and I'm like, okay, Liv, like, what are you going through? Like, take a step back, look at your life, go through your journal, like slow down, think about what you're going through in your relationships with people, with God, like where are you?
right.
And channel that into like an authentic expression. And so I would say if anybody's like really stuck,
Yeah,
to just take a step back, like
yeah.
get off of social media. Everyone wants to be on social media to put out content, but I'm like, the work is done like in the everyday life and the experience and the studio. Like that's where the creativity and the work is done. So it's like, if you need to, don't get on social media and have the appearance of the work constantly being done. Just do the work. Just get off of social media and create. Like
Yeah.
it's, yeah, if that makes sense.
You can't have social media validate your creative process or what you put out. And a lot of times, you know, we all get lost in transition when we're on the gram and we're posting so much things, but we're not focused on the actual reason why we're doing what we're doing. And you said it really well. There's lots of pressure. There is content. quantity over
Mm-hmm.
quality, and people tend to burn out. I've seen a lot of artists burn out for those reasons. When you're doing something that is not authentic to your soul, it's gonna catch up. It's gonna catch.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna catch up. And I
Yeah,
think also too, if you look at artists that like, right, their fans have had to wait for them to put out stuff. And like, yeah, it's not fun to wait, but like if you're a good artist, like your
yeah,
fans are going to wait.
yeah,
And it's like you can show the process, you can show other stuff without, you know, just pushing to get something out. And something for me, which I'm just really adamant about, I'm like, my work is going to be quality. Like,
yeah,
yes, you may have to wait a little longer, but I'm not going to just slap something on SoundCloud. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to take the time, I'm going to take the months and the time it needs to
Right.
put together a phenomenal song. And I mean, I hope you can hear that through my music.
I do. You know, for the experience that you have with your music background, and you've been associated with a lot of people in the music industry, you could have put out a lot more songs if you really wanted to. But the beauty of it is that you don't. You just put out quality work. This is running.
That little hook, you're like, okay.
Amazing. Running so much, I'm driving myself insane. We have Live in the Building, Cito, Beyond the Views podcast, episode 16. We are back. You're performing at a school. Everyone's going wild.
Oh.
It looked like you were in a gym.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. This is, I used to do like camps, different like youth camps and summer camps and stuff for high schoolers.
That is awesome. What vibrations?
Like that whole summer we were doing a mix of some of CW's music, and then we did a lot of covers. So we did like Drake. I think we were doing Drake in that song, like we were rapping or something. But there were, and I did Lies there too. Yeah.
It brings us now to Little Light. Little Light is a special song, and I feel like it's probably your favorite song you've ever.
Yeah, it was definitely like a personal song. Like obviously, yeah.
Which congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I actually dropped the song like a few months after I had my daughter Zaya, and I wanted this song to incorporate different like childhood songs, like a nursery rhyme. So you have like kind of a spin-off of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and then I actually put like some elements of a song from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like you wouldn't probably know that, but there was like some parts in the bridge that were like similar to a chorus from one of the songs there. And what I love about this song is, to this day, if my daughter is crying and I'm driving in the car, like if she's stressed out or she's hungry or whatever, I'll put this song on and she'll immediately stop crying because it has her voice in it.
It does. Sampled it right in the beginning. That was the thing I was going to mention.
So she can hear her voice, and then she can hear my voice and my husband's voice. So it automatically like calms her down.
Hi, sweet baby.
I made this song just for you, and then I'll tell her like, "Hey, that's you in the song."
That is awesome. I was like, oh my God, she sampled her daughter. Oh my God, is that for real? How did you do that? Did you just do like an audio from your phone? And
I just did like voice recordings of us talking to her when she was like really little, when she was a baby, and just like stuff from different videos. And then my producer was amazing. Like he mixed it in as if like we were in, you know, the room with her, like as if she was in the studio with us. He did a great job.
I felt that. I thought I'd ask, but I felt like she was in the studio with you. So that being said, everyone, take a second to listen, and we'll be right back.
Can you say mama?
Can you say daddy?
Say daddy.
Okay, so now we are back. That brings us back to now Seeds.
Yes, my favorite song.
Seeds came out last year, Piano. Let's listen to it, and we'll be right back. 2 versions of this song.
Yeah.
Right?
Hmm.
What came first?
I did like the full radio version first, full production. I actually, so the backstory of the song, I wrote this song like a few days before my wedding because I was like, shoot, I want to sing to my husband at our wedding, but I was like stressed getting ready and I was like, oh, I gotta write a song. So actually, the backstory about this song is I was supposed to meet up with some friends. My producer Ike, he also did the guitar and kind of like helped put the song together, and we
Right.
were all meeting up at a friend's house to work on this song like a few days before the wedding. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be so hard, like I don't know what to do, I don't know how to write. And no
Yeah.
joke, I was in an Uber on the way to write this song, and I had a conversation with the Uber driver, and out of that conversation sparked all the ideas for this song. And so that's why I'm always encouraging people, bring a notepad with you, because in the Uber, I was like, hey, we're having a conversation. Like, I need to write down what this guy is saying.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was just really like, I think people, they see people in relationships on Instagram, on social media, and they're like, oh, they're so cute. They look so good together. Like their life must be this,
Goals,
this, that,
goals,
and the
goals.
other. Yeah. And I'm like, to actually be in a relationship with somebody that sees the good, bad, and ugly all the time, like it takes growth, right? And in the song,
Oh
it
yeah.
talks about it takes toil, it takes trial, it takes you protecting that person. It's so much work. Like
Yeah,
love is a lot of work. And
it is.
so I wanted this song to just be kind of a reflection of like the reality of love, and like how in order for love to grow like a tree, like that imagery, it
Yeah.
takes trial, it takes
Yes.
work and
Yes.
cultivation, like it
Yes.
takes the sweat from your brow. And so that's really
Yeah.
what this song is about. And then I was like, you know what, I think it would be great to do like a live acoustic version as well. I think as an artist, like it's always great to, I was taking a songwriting class and it was talked about any song you should be able to build up and also strip down, and it should still be able to sound good.
That's a good point, by the way. I'd never heard that before.
Yeah, I don't remember what class I was. I think it was a class I was taking by St. Vincent. It was like a master class. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but she talked a lot in her work about like being able to, if a song is good, like it's going to be able to stand with the vocals alone
Absolutely.
and then you can build it out. So I wanted to do something a little different with this song.
Right. I have never heard that saying before. It makes a lot of sense because both versions are unique in their own ways.
Yeah.
Really, 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 really great song. That being said, let's watch the acoustic live performances and we'll be right back.
A river, just a seed. I will water you and watch you grow. Hey, hey,
Bring us to Jealous. I know that Jealous you had a good part on it, and there's a footage of you in the studio. Give us a little rundown on how the song came about. How did you partner up with other artists? And
Yeah, with Jealous, I'm in a collective called Shy City Collective, and it's with several other artists. And what I like about this collective is we all have like our journey, but we're all there to help each other. So
Whoa.
when one person drops a song, we'll, text each other in our group chat and be like, hey, can you promote this? Or hey, can you do the graphic art for this? Can you do the marketing for this? Can you help with the vocals? So it's really, especially as an independent artist, like right away, you might not have a manager, you might not have a full scale team. So it's like getting together with people that you really trust and feeding off of them and having them feed off of you and being able to come to them with questions, with requests. Like you guys are each other's team. And so this was a girl, she's actually 16 years old, that sang this song. She's in the city of Chicago. She's amazing. And I did a little bit of back vocal and was able to do some violin, but just really us like in the studio collaborating, working on projects. And now we're just always like promoting and helping each other out with projects.
Amazing, amazing. So guys, check out this little footage and we'll be right back.
Best of all this world could give. And I told you when you left me, there's nothing to.
Okay, so Liv, the fact that you have a really busy life,
Yes.
you have a daughter, you have a husband, your life is full, but yet you love to write your music. How do you have time to just add this into your schedule? You must be so busy.
Yeah, so I am really busy. This is a conversation actually my husband and I had before we had our daughter. When it is discouraging sometimes as a parent, because even when we were pregnant, like when we first got pregnant, I remember people would tell us like, "Oh, just wait until you have kids. Like your life's going to be over. You're not going to be able to do anything, blah, blah, blah." Like even just the same when you get in a relationship, like you can't like, people just get negative and will say things. And I think for me, when I had my daughter, I actually felt even like more inspired because I was like, my daughter's like looking up to me. Like even when I just hear her like sing along or get quiet when she's listening to that song that I wrote her, it's like your kids are going to be looking up to you. And I think it even pushed me more to be like, yes, your time is going to become a lot more limited,
Yeah.
but it just means that you need to be even that much more disciplined
Right.
and even with your time and prioritize your life better. And like that's something I'm even still learning because there isn't a lot of downtime, so
Right.
you just have to schedule it in, because guess what, there's like not going to be a time, like you have to sacrifice. Okay, wake up 2 hours earlier, stay up later working on a project. Like you have to just make the time to do it. Like, and that's something I felt like for so long I made excuses. It took me so long to get my first single out because I was like, oh, I don't have this, or I don't have the resource, I don't have this and that. And so during COVID, I was like, you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of making excuses. I'm sick of this and that. And I was like, I'm just going to invest a little bit of money. I'm going to put together we live in a small, like 2-bedroom apartment in Chicago. I'm like, I'm going to clean out this junky closet and I'm going to put a little studio in there. I'm going to figure out a way to work with other artists and like send the tracks back and forth because we couldn't go into the studios. Everything was shut down. I'm like, you just have to have that mentality.
Yes.
Because if you don't, like, it's just not going to get done. Like life is going to get in the way. You just have to make it a priority. And you honestly like are your own worst enemy, because you can always just come up with these excuses and get in this like negative of like, blah, blah, blah. And there are times when I still am like that because I compare myself to other people and I'm like, oh, my stuff's not getting out as much. And then I do have to remind myself, well, you're a wife, you're a mom, like it is going to take longer, the process. But like if you're committed to it, it's still going to happen.
Absolutely. So if you are listening, no, there's no such thing as the perfect time to start something. Start today.
Just do it.
Give 1% every day. By the time you know at the end of the year, you are at 100%. So well said, Liv. Well said. That's so inspiring and motivating. So now let's get to your new single.
If you're too burnt out, you don't have to speak. No, I'm hearing you when your soul is weak.
Speak. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is with a good friend of mine, Tulani. I actually like first met him in Chicago. We did like an underground show together, a live performance. Well, he was on the bill and I met him there, but he's just an amazing artist, super genuine person. We have both very different styles of music. I wanted to team up with somebody that did have like a different style than me and be like, okay, let's see, what can we come up with? So he came over to our place one night and we literally like wrote this song in a night.
I done told ya a few times what you do to me. So when I see ya, don't speak, just be true to me.
It's just about a lot of times when you love people, there's that sense of fatigue in moments and you can feel like, I I don't want to talk about things all the time, or like I might not even have like the words to say. Just be with that person, just like be with them in those moments.
Right.
And so that's kind of what this song is about. It's just like, how are we really there for people when there isn't anything to say?
Absolutely. And the song starts off a bit slow, then it starts to pick up. I really love that melodic different feels of that. Feeling incomplete, picking up somebody if somebody's not feeling their 100%. We are here today. You and I are individuals that we'd like to promote that, hey, listen, everyone that's listening right now, enjoy your life. You got one life to live. And it's never too late to get started with anything in life. Just make sure you're enjoying it and you are doing it for the right reasons. Be authentic to yourself and to your soul, and never compare yourself to anyone else. We all have our own books. We are all in different chapters of our lives. So if you are watching this, I hope that Liv is an inspiration to you. A mother, extremely busy, but yet still finds the time in her schedule to do what she loves. Because at the end of the day, the fact that she does what she loves, she's going to feed that off to her daughter, her husband, all her loved ones all around her. So I really salute you. You are a true inspiration to everyone listening right now, including myself. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Now, before we end off the show, I want to know, and so does the fans want to know, what can we expect from Liv?
Yes.
Spill the tea. Spill it out.
Okay.
Before we even get there, can you please let us know, because we're going to put it somewhere around here, any social media platforms?
Yeah, so you can find me everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, everywhere as LivRoskos. That's it. It's super easy. I made it really simple for you. It's the same on everything. Social media, Spotify, it's everywhere. Just Liv, ROSKOS. That's it.
So what can we expect from you, Liv? Spill it out.
I'm finally working on a full-length EP, and I'm really excited. So I've been working with a phenomenal producer. He's the one that did Seeds. That will be on the EP, but it's going to be a complete project, and I, fingers crossed, will be dropping it at the end of October and then doing a full release party, hopefully in October or November. So I'm really excited about that. It's definitely going to be a jazz, soul, R&B, like forward is the style I'm moving into. So yeah, just literally an album mode all summer, all fall until it gets done.
Can't wait. And if you are watching right now, in between time, go run up speak right now. Link in the bio. Follow Liv. You're gonna love the music. Before we end off, who's your number one idol right now? Like music. Doesn't have to be from Chicago. Who is like your number one? Amy Winehouse.
No, actually, I do love Amy Winehouse, but a lot of my inspirations, I really love Yeba. I don't know if you listen to her.
No.
Yeba, you need to listen to her. She's an amazing vocalist. And then I listen to a lot of Liana La Havas.
If you say it's good, then I'm gonna go listen to it.
And then the last one, there's one more person that she's phenomenal. One of my inspirations, Chicago artist, and her name is Jessie DeFranco. I think is how you say her last name, but she's amazing.
The sky won't clear your mind. Sit down, relax, it'll be just fine. Little gas for my empty mind.
Awesome. Amazing, yes.
Great. From Chicago to Toronto, back to Chicago. Please go listen to Speak. Follow Liv on all platforms. Is there anything cool and fun that you want to end off the podcast with?
Yeah, I'll just end off with like a little inspirational something at the end.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to say, wherever you are, I know this last year has sucked, okay? But I just want to say, keep going. Do something small every day and be consistent with it. Even if you only have 5-10 minutes a day to write or to journal, just do something small every day and just be consistent. Even if it takes you a long time, do not compare yourself to other people. Your journey is your journey. Your experience is your experience. And just keep moving forward and do the work.
Jeez! Episode 16, Beyond the Views podcast. Did you ever hear that glass break?
Yeah.
What's about to happen right now? Beyond the Views, Liv! Episode 16.
Hey.